So members, those people who are watching me live, before I start my lesson, I'd like to say good morning to all members who are watching me live. Today, I'm having my group on WhatsApp. So the admin, Mr. Alganira Dixon, I've come here to share something with you with the little notes that I have. So today, talk about something in science that is taught in the term 1 P4 class. We are going to start with a topic which is the plant life. And before I start the topic, uh, those people who are watching me live, you subscribe, then we see the way we can. So I'm doing this just because in the next generation we want more science teachers, and we want to the younger generation to gain or to pick that morale of taking science as the key subject. What we know, English and math, they are there, but science, I'm addicted to science most. So, Gutabarwisa, already cutting video. So you may see me using Luganda and English, Omuswahili chat Luganda, I'm going to use both languages. We have those people who don't listen to English. I'm among the administrators there. So those people are going to watch me with notes which are making them or which are applicable for them to pass. So I'm lucky to be teaching. I'm a teacher of science, teaching from P4 up to P7, mainly the science subject. And I'm just purposely in science. I'm also good in SST, but the subject which is in I call it blood, is science. So science is a good subject for those who want to become engineers. You see those ones, the doctors, the nurses, all of them, they are products of science, English, math. So iyo sijja kubalwisaayo, leka tulabe ku what I have brought today. We are going to talk about plant life. Plant life gwekitegeera otya? Plant life. So we are going to say, that is the topic, that's the first topic that is taught there in primary 4, term 1, about plant life. So the theme is the world of living things. So the topic is plant life. So we are going to say plants. What are plants? Well, before you talk about the plant life, you talk about what are plants. Plants, these are just living things. When we talk about living things, those are the things which have life. So plants are living things, having leaves, because we are talking about plants. We have the stems and the roots. So someone may, learners they are good at tricking teachers. A learner may ask you, my fellow teachers, that the differences between plants and animals. Totandika ate kumagaza ntiratera kasooke, let me try to go and search what is there. You just say that the difference between plants. You look about plants, you again look about animals, then you give the difference. So a difference is here. Plants make their own food, and animals get already made food. When I talk about plants make their own food, many plants, they store their food in roots. So when you talk about the animals, this one they eat already, they get already made food. So another difference which you can give there, you may say that plants have chlorophyll and the animals don't have chlorophyll. When we talk about chlorophyll, a learner may ask you, what is chlorophyll? What is the importance of the chlorophyll to the plants? So you are likely to answer this learner by saying that the chlorophyll, this one purposely traps sunlight. So then I'm going to talk about mainly now plants. Under plants, we have flowering plants, and we have also non-flowering plants. So let me first talk about flowering plants before I talk about non-flowering plants. So with flowering plants, down under flowering plants, we have monocotyledonous plants and we have dicotyledonous plants. So a learner may also still trick you by saying mono means what? Because we are talking about of the monocotyledonous plants. So someone may ask you, mono means what? In simple terms, mono means one, or a type of a seed which is having one cotyledon. And when we talk about di means two. So that is also a type of a plant or a type of a plant which is having two cotyledons. So let me talk about monocotyledonous plants. Monocotyledonous plants, someone may also still ask you an examples. Learners are tricky. So examples of monocotyledonous plants, don't forget to talk about maize, don't forget to talk about millets, don't forget to talk about rice plant, don't forget to talk about sorghum, don't even forget to talk about wheat. When you talk about monocotyledonous plants, those plants, all of them, they have got parallel leaf venation. With time, we shall see this one is in practical. I bring the grass this side, I also put another grass this side, the plants, then I differentiate. So the difference is one, that these ones are monocotyledonous plants. Someone, they always bring a question that monocotyledonous plants, despite the fact that all of them they undergo parallel leaf venation. That is something that I can talk about to monocotyledonous plants. Then when I convert this side to dicotyledonous plants, these are plants with two cotyledons. So someone will also still ask you examples. Don't forget to talk about bean plant. You talk about soya beans. You talk about groundnuts. You don't even forget to talk about cowpeas. So when I talk about dicotyledonous plants, all dicotyledonous plants have got network leaf venation. So when I talk about of the leaves are in form of, they are like my hands as you're trying to see here. So when I talk about parallel, I mean, yes, parallel. Leaves are in a needle shape. So when you see any plant having a needle shape leaf, just get to know that is parallel. And when you try to see a plant having a leaf which is like, how can I differentiate it? And I say like a plate, something like that. But when you try to observe my hands, this is, I can still say to you, this is something. This is network leaf venation. So let us move on. So we are now, let me come this side of the flowering plants, non-flowering plants, I mean. Non-flowering plants are down. Examples of non-flowering plants. Someone may ask you what are non-flowering plants. So these are plants that do not bear flowers. Yeah, those are plants that do not bear flowers. So down here, someone may also still ask you examples. We have fir. Now some people are tricky. You may even still asking me, what is fir? This one, with time I'm going to come with some plants, then I show you this is fir. I show you this is what we call conifers. So all of them that I'm mentioning, these are non-flowering plants. We have fir, we have conifers, we have pines. Most of you know pines. Most of the learners, you know pines. Then we have leaves, we have ferns, we have mosses. We have a big challenge here that some people, when they are writing the word Moses, or some learners when they are writing the word Moses, ababawandika Moses, teachers they will witness, they are my witness. Some people fail to write the word Moses, they write Moses. So the word Moses is just MOSSES. So I don't expect my learners to write Moses instead of Moses. So down as I'm continuing, so we are going to talk about types of plants. We know types of plants. Ngabula bomulezi no muwala. We are all human beings, but the difference is that this is a boy, this is a girl. So we have also types of plants. Types of plants, nabibawa data in the other table that have been explained to you. We have non-flowering plants. Those are plants which bear flowers. We have non-flowering plants. It's the opposite. Non-flowering plants, they don't bear flowers. Flowering plants, they bear flowers. So we are going now to talk about non-flowering plants purposely. These are plants that do not bear flowers. So examples, don't forget to talk about of the cypress. Don't forget to talk about the pine. Don't forget talk about the cedar. Don't even forget talk about of the fir. We have mosses, we have ferns, we have liverworts, and we are also having the last one, which is called the hostel. So also non-flowering plants, those plants which do not bear flowers, have also they are also grouped in different. They have also different groups. So examples of non-flowering plants, we have spore-bearing plants. We have spore-bearing plants as an example of non-flowering plants. We have what we call coniferous plants. We have also what we call coniferous plants. So we are going to start. Let me start with spore-bearing plants. Spore-bearing plants stage. Spore-bearing plants stage. How are you going to explain to learners to understand what you are talking about? So I advise my fellow science teachers at least to keep on using practicals. When you talk about the plants, you bring the plants, you put them there. So as I'm also going to tell some of my learners, at least someone to bring for me plants, maybe these people are not getting them anyway. So, you first can bring for me difference between me. You bring for me monocotyledonous plants and dye. The simple terms bring for me a parallel leaf and network leaf. You first can bring together for me. Then, as we are waiting to give a difference, we are going to talk about the spore-bearing plants. Spore-bearing plants. What are the examples of when we talk about the spores, we have the vines, we have the mosses, we have the cows, we have also the hostel. So down there, all those plants that I have mentioned above, all of them they reproduce by means of spores. Zina spores. We have spores. Someone has brought for me a maize leaf. So a maize leaf, this one falls under. This is what we call a leaf. You first go and also bring for me something like a parallel leaf. I mean network leaf. You bring for me a leaf which is let me try it the same. They are just in front there. So so when I talk, so this is, let me first explain this. So this is what we call paraleafination, and this is a leaf of your maize plant. And the maize plant, this one falls under monocotyledonous plants. As I said that monocotyledonous plants, these are plants with one cotyledon. So this is a leaf. So when my learners, when you try to see this type of a leaf, just get to know this is mono, something which is having only one cotyledon. So this is. So they may give a question. Apart from a maize plant, give another example of monocotyledonous plants. Kata mwizi natandika okutakula omutwe natakula nagira chi ngalaba biganye. So I inform my learners and those people who are watching me live. These persons like to put their maize, I've talked about of the maize. You talk about of the rice plant. Don't forget talk about of the millet. Because when I talk about the millet, even the millet has got also this type of leaf, if I'm not mistaken. If someone is there and is trying to challenge me, when talk about of the maize, millet plant, it has also got this type of leaf. When we talk about of the sorghum, it has also got this type of leaf. So, as we are just waiting someone to bring for us network leaf venation. So this is what we call network leaf venation. It looks like this, the network. Have you seen the difference? This is network leaf venation and this is parallel. This is parallel. So we are back on network. This is the leaf of a bean plant. This is the leaf of a bean plant. So with a bean plant, this is the way it looks. So they may say example apart from a bean plant. Give another example of dicotyledonous plant. Muganda one. Don't forget talk about the soya beans. Don't forget talk about the groundnuts. Don't forget talk about the cowpeas and the soya beans. Ebyo byonna byenjogeddeko bwabanga waliwo awakana. Go and plant them, you differentiate. Ojja kubira. Byonna byenjogeddeko bijanjalo, the beans, the soya beans, the cowpeas, and the rest. All of them, they have got this type of leaf. I think that is I've talked about much of that. So let us continue. So we have also algae and example of spore bearing plants. When we talk about the algae, this one reproduced by cell division or binary fission. So let us talk about, as I told you that examples of non-flowering plants. We have also got spore-bearing plants and the carnivorous plants. So I'm going to talk about carnivorous plants. I've talked about much on spore-bearing plants. So I'm going to talk about carnivorous plants. So what are carnivorous plants? Learner may also still trick. Learners are good at tricking teachers. But a teacher, professional teacher, you also need to trick your learners so that they can understand what you're talking about. So carnivorous plants are These are plants. Carnivorous plants. These are plants that reproduce by use of seeds. Any plant that reproduces by use of seeds, that is the carnivorous plants. So examples of carnivorous plants, we have cypress. Cypress also reproduces by means of seeds. When you talk about the pines, they also reproduce by means of seeds. When you talk about the cedar, also reproduce by means of seeds. When we talk about the fir, also reproduced by means of seed. Bwembanga nina ebyendese, my fellow teachers who know more in science, they will direct me. They will keep on adding what I have left out. So they may say, give one example of carnivorous plants that reproduce by use of seeds. Nebakuterako apart from cypress and pine. You talk about the cedar. Cedar also reproduced by means of seeds. You talk about of the fur is also there. So I've gone on flowering plants. As I told you at first, that flowering plants, these are plants which bear flowers. They bear flowers, flowering plants. So, examples of flowering plants. When I talk about examples of flowering plants, you give the examples of dicotyledonous plants. So, examples of flowering plants, we have maize, we have beans, we have got mangoes, and we have also got coffee. Then we have also tomatoes. So we have also cotton, we have also orange. Those are good examples of flowering plants. So we have also got groups of flowering plants. As we had groups of non-flowering plants, we have also got groups of flowering plants. Groups of flowering plants, we have dicotyledonous plants. That one I gave you in the last notes. We have also monocotyledonous plants. Those are the groups of flowering plants. So we have dicotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants, these are plants with two cotyledons in their seed. So when I talk about of the bean, a bean has got two cotyledons. Bokwata ekijanjalo nochikwata boti nochimenya makati, you get another seed this side, you also get another seed this side. So that means any plant, or I mean not any plant, or any seed that you can get and you break it in the midst and you get one part of a seed this side and also part of a seed this side. Then that's what we call flowering plant. Bokwata ekijanja nochimenya makati nofuna side jofunye side zeno and the other part this side. Nga when they are on the same size, bien just get to know that that is what we call flowering plants. Then we have examples of dicotyledonous plants. As I told you that di means 2 and mono means 1. So with dicotyledonous plants, we have beans, we have got soya beans, we have got groundnuts, we have got cowpeas. Note. So this note, dear teachers, guardians, together with the pupils who are watching me live at this time, this is a note. What am I trying to say? When I talk about note, that means that something which I'm going to talk about, take it serious. Note, take it serious. So when I talk about the note, the examples above are leguminous plants. The examples above that I have been giving you, the beans, the soya beans, the cowpeas, the groundnuts, all of them, they are leguminous plants. That is a note for you. So someone may ask you, what are leguminous? What are leguminous crops? Learners are always like that. but you also need to defeat them somewhere to show them that you have covered something that is much better than the people that you're teaching. So when I talk about of the leguminous crops, leguminous crops, these are crops that have root nodules and store seeds in ponds. Yeah. Those are crops that have root nodules and they store their seeds in ponds. We have talked about of the beans. When you try to look at the beans, the seed is stored in the pond. When I talk about the pond, that is something which is I call it the outer layer. The outer layer that covers the seed of a bean plant. So with leguminous crops, these are crops with root nodules and they store their seeds in ponds. So when you talk about of the soya beans, it's the same story. Even the seeds are stored in ponds. So when I talk about of the granules, also the seeds are stored in the ponds. So we are in the mood of science. So without wasting time, if it is to continue, let me first give you at least something like I have something like 5 points to my learners, that you never take education for granted. Just take it serious. Just take it serious. So without wasting time, like tuiongee, someone may still ask you x6 or characteristics of dicots. When I talk about of the dicots, these are the dicotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants, the difference is here. All dicotyledonous plants have got network leaf venation. All dicotyledonous plants have got network leaf venation. Number 2, all dicotyledonous plants have got the taproot system. Or their seeds undergo EPG germination. Their seeds undergo EPG germination. So with time, if God wishes, we shall start from here. When we don't pass away. So my humble appeal to my learners, that one, it has been a brief teaching to my learners, and this is to upgrade or to show light in our learners that they can still be like us. So someone may ask you that this is a teacher from where? A teacher from Greenlight, a school which is located in Bukomero. For those people who see or would like to share knowledge with me, my contacts, someone may still ask me, we would like to share with you something. So my contacts is just 0789 80 34 85. So Airtel 0745 43 14 53. So I thank you for the time that you have given me, your attention. So every day I'll be putting a message. I see we have advanced our nation with science. I call it a lesson. Bye bye.